In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to automatically send an email when a client reaches their check back later date. Please note that workflows are only available to SeniorPlace Premium customers, and only administrator users will have access to create new workflows. The first thing to note before creating this workflow is that it will trigger based on the check back later date, which is set in the check back later status of clients. You'll be able to see it on the pipeline view, as well as if you go into a client's profile and change the check back later date at the top. When you're ready to create this workflow, navigate to the settings cog in the upper right and click Settings. Next, click Agency Settings and Workflows. You'll then want to click Create Workflow. From here, choose Check Back Later Follow-up Email and adjust the name and description to fit your needs. Once you're done with that, click Create Workflow. At this point, we get to customize the workflow to fit our exact needs. First off, you get to set the client status filter. This means that the client needs to be in that status or statuses in order for the workflow to be able to trigger. In addition to needing to be in that status, the client's check back later date must have come up as well. If you're not sure what statuses to put here, just leave it as the default check back later. However, if you want to add additional statuses, you can do so as well. Next, choose who will be receiving the automatic emails that get sent out. In this case, let's have it just go to the client. Next, you're going to build your email, subject, and body as you'd expect. It's worth noting that you can use placeholders here as well to improve the personalization of these emails. In this case, if we want to address the client by their preferred name, we could click this double curly brace box and choose preferred name. Next, we get to choose whether or not we want a file attached to this email. In this case, we don't actually want a file, so we'll just remove what we added. This is an optional piece to the workflow. Next, you get to choose whether or not the person sending out this workflow will be BCC'd. Finally, you get to choose how many days after the check back later date arrives that the email gets sent out. In this case, the email will send out 1 day after the check back later date. Once you're done with all of that customization, you'll want to click Publish Workflow to make sure that workflow is activated. If you ever need to edit this workflow in the future, simply go back to Agency Settings, Workflows, choose that workflow, and make the necessary edits. You can also unpublish or delete the workflow by clicking this pencil icon in the upper right, clicking the trash can to delete it, or clicking Draft to move it back into a draft mode.